A new update has arrived to GTA Online this week, which has brought about a ton of game changes along with a ton of great discounts as well. And today on the show, we will be talking about these discounts, and I will be giving a review and a breakdown of some of the best purchases that you can acquire this week in GTA Online. This video is all about what to buy and also about what to avoid buying this week. I know that you put a lot of time and effort into building your wealth in GTA Online, and honestly, so close to a DLC, it would be a shame to waste it on useless purchases. So I did the work for you this week by putting together this helpful buyer's guide so that you can get the most value out of your spending. Keep in mind that while I do recommend that you purchase or avoid purchasing a certain vehicle this week, just make sure that you're saving enough cash on hand because of that GTA DLC update that's coming out on Tuesday, December 13th. Even so, I'll make sure to give context and my own advice on if a vehicle is actually worth buying, even with that update being right around the corner. Although I would say if you have less than $5 million, I recommend that you just save all that money so that you can buy the new business, upgrades, and maybe a DLC vehicle or two when this update actually does release on Tuesday. But with all that said and out of the way, I know this is a long intro, we're going to get into it. If you enjoy this video at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you want to stay up to date with everything GTA Online and Rockstar games, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. So starting off with these weekly event buyers guides, everyone, you guys know we start off with the major property discount for the week, and then we move on into the vehicles section. And so if you're only interested in those, then please use the timestamps in the description down below, or use the video playback bar timestamps to find exactly what you need. So starting off with that property discount, we have 40% off all agency properties, agency renovations and modifications, as well as agency upgrades. Absolutely 100% buy this business. I can drone on about why, but my top 5 reasons are that number 1, you get access to the Dr. Dre contract to make millions of dollars in this game. Number 2, you get the fun Lamar short trip missions. Number 3, you get security contracts that make you a lot of money. Number 4, you get a wall safe for lots of passive income over time. And number 5, you get payphone hits, and you get access to those payphone hits for lots of money, whether it's on bonus or not. And honestly, these payphone hits are paying out 50% extra money this week, and so you're getting a lot of extra money right before the DLC. If you need some in a pinch, you'll be able to make all of it back very fast. All the money that you spend on the agency, you'll be able to make back very fast. And another final reason, basically a runner-up here, is why I think you should unlock the agency. You will get access to the helpful Omani tech upgrades for free roam vehicle protection. Now, with the property discount out of the way, let's discuss all the vehicles and the weapon discounts for this week. Starting off at Elitist Travel, we have the Buckingham Canada. I'm going to get the heli out of the way, on sale for $1.96 million. Performance-wise, this helicopter is comparable to a heli like the Maverick, the Police Maverick, and the Frogger, with a relatively good top speed and handling, and the skids also provide good stability when on the ground. The lack of a tail rotor, though, makes this aircraft safer to get around when it is active, and it also is less prone to malfunction when the tail is near an obstacle or structure. However, this lack of countermeasures and weaponry on this aircraft means that it's not suitable for heavy combat, especially against other armed helicopters or weaponized vehicles in general. But overall, it is an ultra-fast heli. It's fun to fly, but I don't find there's any practical use for it. Mostly, I'm going to fly around in the Buzzard or the Sparrow if I'm trying to travel around the map or travel over long distances very fast, and I'm going to use a weaponized heli like the Hunter or a Kula for any other aircraft purpose. Moving on at Legendary Motorsport, we have the Dubache Champion for $2.1 million on sale. Being one of the very few front-engine supercars in GTA Online, the Champion's handling suffers compared to its counterpart from the contract update, which is the Ignis, which is a rear-engine vehicle. While the Champion is relatively stable and comparatively easier to control on even surfaces compared to many of its mid-engine rivals, the Champion understeers somewhat and can be easily destabilized when cornering suddenly or going over bumps or curbs. Additionally, the Champion shows quite slow acceleration overall and suffers a poor top speed in the supercar class. The Champion, along with the selected vehicles from this same update, can be modified with a remote control unit though, which allows you to drive this vehicle remotely, which is kind of nice. And you can also equip armor plating upgrades, which when equipped, they add armor padding on the side of the vehicle, and this gives the Champion a much higher resistance to explosives in general. It also has bullet resistant windows, which are able to withstand 15 rounds for most firearms in the game before the glass starts to shatter. I would say that this vehicle is worth a buy this week. After that, at Legendary Motorsport, we have the Pegassi Ignis for $1.935 million. This is an excellent vehicle on sale. It has a super high top speed with great upgrades, and if you're on next gen, you can turn the Pegassi Ignis into an HSW upgraded Pegassi Ignis, which makes this car even faster. It's got even more perfect handling, allowing for high speed cornering with above average braking for a Pegassi vehicle, and I would say that the Ignis is worth a buy as well. After that, at Southern San Andreas Super Autos, we have the Declasse Vigoro ZX for $1.557 million. This is one of my favorite DLC vehicles from the Criminal Enterprises update. This vehicle is very, very fast, but I do find that it tends to oversteer, and the rear end of the Vigoro slides out if you're not careful around those tight corners. Just don't max out your thumbstick movement if you're playing on controller. I will also say that this vehicle has slippery brakes at higher speeds. I know this isn't a physic in this game or a feature, but it does feel like this car actually experiences brake fade over time, or at least every single time you use the brake, where the brakes get worse and worse the harder you try and brake with this car. Maybe it's a placebo effect when I drive it, but overall I love the Vigoro and it's worth a buy even with the DLC update on Tuesday. Just don't go totally broke trying to get the vehicles on sale that I've been recommending so far. Moving on, at Legendary Motorsport, we have the Lampadati Corsita for $1.256 million. This is a nimble and quick sports car. It's got great handling, but a tendency to oversteer if you corner too hard. It has insanely good braking if you're in a pinch, and I would say that it is worth a buy this week. After that, at Southern San Andreas Super Autos, we have the Ubermacht Reinhardt for $1.118 million. This is a really fun station wagon to drive, but I don't find the handling to be that great, at least when you really push this vehicle. The braking is actually okay. When you look at the handling, you expect the braking not to be too good either, but the braking is actually pretty good for its size, and this car has amazing crash deformation that doesn't mess with performance even if you slam this car into a wall at 120 miles an hour. And this car could be worth the buy depending on how much money you have, but I feel like this sort of is a toss-up right here. After that, we have the Lampadati Cinquemilla for $1.218 million. This is a bulky and heavy sedan. It does have great crash deformation. It has a high top speed. It understeers at those high speeds though when you're cornering, and overall I just would say that this vehicle is not worth the buy this week. Same with the Pfister Astron. This car is plow city. It has crazy understeer, but with the right thumbstick control, this SUV is very fun to drive. It's good for cutting through traffic, but it's not really good for racing around tight corners. Overall, I just love all Porsches, but this one is just not worth the buy this week. And that is the same case with the Coquette D10. This possesses a far better performance than previous iterations of the Coquette, having very good acceleration, top speed, and handling for a sports car. However, its performance doesn't rival that of other cars at the top of its class, such as the Itali GTO and the Pariah. Although it can slide when cornering hard, it is manageable and it can be corrected if you start to spin out and you start to notice that. The crash deformation is also excellent for a high performance sports car, though the bodywork on this car, including like the trunk or the engine bay hood, that starts to deform and flies off very, very easily. But overall, the Coquette D10 can take a handful amount of punishments before it starts to fall apart. And then finally, we're wrapping up with the Declasse Draga for $1.3 million. In my opinion, this is the best off-roading vehicle. You can climb hills with ease, reverse up hills with no issues. There's great street traction as well, even if you have off-road or just normal on-road tires. The negatives are here with this vehicle though is that you're exposed as a driver with like no real windshield or doors or anything like that, so you're not protected from gunfire and explosives though. And if you need an off-roading vehicle, this would be the one I recommend. If you already have one, well then you're probably okay for now. Just save your money. And with all that said, that's every major discounted purchase in GTA Online this week. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on these vehicles. Rockstar usually comes out with the biggest and the best deals right before a DLC update, and so just be mindful of your spending. Don't go broke purchasing everything in this update, because you want to have enough cash on hand to be able to buy stuff you want, including the new business and other new vehicles in the new Los Santos Drug Wars update coming out on Tuesday. So with all that said, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best GTA Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask me any questions on those platforms. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next GTA Online video. Adios, amigos.